right, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. If you just step in, welcome to MTE 2025. And today is the very last day. So we'll kickstart the first seminar session at MTE 2025. And we are honored to have with us Mr. Seng Chuan, Managing Director of KION Group for Southeast Asia, to speak on trends shaping the future of intralogistics automation and how KION's eye driving them. So Mr. T is brings extensive leadership experience in driving automation innovation across the region. Under his guidance, KION Group has been the forefront of integrating AI, digital twins, and scalable automation solutions into warehouse operations, especially through its strategic collaboration with NVIDIA. Today's sessions will spotlight on how KION is addressing Malaysia's specific challenges such as cost sensitivity, mixed pallet complexity, and the needs for fast ROI with intelligent practical solutions that are ready for implementation today. Without further ado, please join me and give him a warm round of applause in welcoming Mr. Seng Chuan.
Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good? Very good. Selamat pagi. Salam sejahtera. So maybe just for a start, a bit about myself. Yeah, I'm very happy to be back in KL this week. 20th year in KION Group. Of course, KL is my hometown. Yeah, and I lived in the US for 7 years, in China for 6 years, and now shuttling between Singapore and Malaysia. Yeah. So again, very happy to be back in KL. Yeah. So again, for those who do not know KION, maybe just a few words. KION is of course the global market leader in industrial trucks and supply chain solutions. Yeah. And of course, under industrial trucks, we have various brands in the market. Yeah, including Linde, Stihl, Baoli. Yeah, and of course in supply chain solutions we are number one globally. Yeah, we have more than 10,000 successful automation projects globally. Yeah, and again in terms of revenue we are 11.5 billion euro last year. Yeah, and in terms of employee count we have 42,000 employees globally. Now, back to today's topic. Yeah. Automation. And of course, in terms of automation, I think you can see in the show this week, everybody is doing automation. Yeah? Everybody is talking about automation. So how big exactly is the opportunity set, and how big do we see the potential of automation? Now, when we look at the market research that are published in the market, again, we are talking about billions, right? In terms of potential, yeah, and exponential growth potential as well, okay? And it's not just in developed markets, but also in developing markets, including Malaysia, yeah? And what are the factors driving the growth, yeah? Again, we talk about e-commerce, omni-channel, retail, and of course the labor shortages, the rising cost of labor as well, right? So these are some of the key factors. But also, customer operations where people are looking for faster deployment, more accurate, picking, and all the other factors, that really, will boost the efficiency of the logistics, in the market. Now, again, the topic for today, of course, is talking about the trends, right? And I always like to have a few key takeaways, yeah? And so what are the key takeaways in terms of automation in our perspective, yeah? So firstly, we talk about automation that is flexible, right? Because traditionally, we may not think about automation as being flexible, right? Everything is fixed, expensive, and long-term, yeah? So this is one trend that we observe. Second one that we observe is really robotics as a service, right? RAS, yeah? And again, I will talk more about it later, yeah? And the third one, yeah? Okay. We talk about digital twins and physical AI, yeah? So these are the three trends that we will see in the market, okay? Now, why we talk about flexible, right? All of us know that we have the traditional forklift, which is more manual, yeah, today, and for the past many years. And it will still continue to exist for the many years to come, yeah? It will not go away. The other quadrant is really the fixed automation systems, yeah, which is often complex, long cycle, takes a long time to deploy, right? Now, maybe we should ask, right? Is everyone ready to move from the traditional industrial truck to the full automation? Answer maybe not, right? Whether it's budget, whether it's the cycle time, right? So again, is there something in between? That's what I often get asked, yeah? And clearly there is, yeah, in our opinion. And this is the in-between solution, what we call flexible automation, yeah? And basically, you can scale as you grow, yeah? You can have lower upfront investments, and you can mix and match solution, technology, even suppliers in the market, yeah? So that is what we foresee as the future of automation, especially in developing markets like Malaysia, for example, right? Where we have relatively lower labor costs, yeah? And therefore, the ROI expectations or the ROI calculation may not be that quick, yeah? And therefore, not all organizations will be ready for the fixed automation systems, yeah? And therefore, we really need something in between, yeah, that we can deploy fast in the market and be competitive and not wait for everything to be perfect, Then you adopt the solution. Then you are too late, you are too late in the market, yeah? Okay, so let's go a little bit more detail, right? So what does it mean? So again, when we look at automation, there are the three pieces, yeah? We talk about storage, we talk about picking, and we talk about production supply, yeah? And they are highlighted in this very nice chart here. So again, in terms of storage, you can have different kind of storage solution, right? Whether it's a four-way shuttle, AMR point-to-point, AGVs, ASRS, yeah? And in terms of picking, you can have GTP, CTP, yeah, CTU, yeah? And in terms of production supply, again, you can have AGB tugger, stacker, AMR, etc. Yeah? But what is more important is today, whether you can mix and match this solution and deploy them part by part, and not deploying them all in one go, right? So I think that is where flexible automation comes into the picture. So you can pick one part of your warehouse and you want to automate it, very good, yeah? You can further expand it further as you go, yeah? So that's where we talk about pay as you go or invest as you go, yeah? Now, in terms of KION Linde Automation, we have some AGVs and they are on display here as well in the show. But we also have, CTU systems, that can do bins and totes. We also have FlexCube that can do palletized, shuttle systems as well. And of course, this is not the end. We will have more and more flexible solutions that are coming on board as part of our ecosystem, yeah? Now, the second one, if you recall earlier, right, is robots as a service, yeah? And of course, again, many organizations will have challenges about CAPEX, OPEX, right? And in terms of looking for a supplier as well, yeah? We always look for suppliers with reliable track record, right? So again, and the third point, we talk about upscaling and downscaling as necessary, yeah? So these are the flexibility that we are providing in the market. And lastly, of course, the continuous innovation and latest technology. So how do we address these topics, right? Now, if you look at moving from CAPEX to OPEX, of course, KION is the market leader in normal forklifts, right? And we are very familiar, with this because traditionally we have been offering rental of forklifts in the market, So rental of robots or robot as a service is not an issue, yeah? Now, the other one, of course, is to look at suppliers with strong cash flow, for the next 5 to 10 years. So if you are looking for a supplier, and the supplier you are not sure whether they can survive, for the next 5 to 10 years, then, that's where KION comes into the picture, where we can fund the project and assure you that we have reliable suppliers, as part of our ecosystem. Now, the third point, of course, is to talk about upscaling and downscaling. And of course, imagine if you have the option, because they are so standardized solution, that you can return or add on these AGVs, AMRs, depending on the demand cycle, right? So this is just like our normal forklift operations, no issue at all, And lastly, which is what I mentioned earlier as well, right? We do not need to wait for the solution to be mature, right? We are able to adopt it, try it out, implement it, and if in the next cycle you have a new technology available, we can also bring them to the system, and integrate them seamlessly into our system, So whether it is, generation A, generation B, we can integrate them together. All right? And of course, lastly, we talk about our digital twin and physical AI, And if you Google, you search in the web, we have now started this partnership with NVIDIA and Accenture, And together we are bringing and developing this omniverse for warehouse, And you know that in many applications today, frankly, you have to develop a database. Because if your database is big enough, then you will be able, to do many planning, in terms of simulation to real, and then real back to simulation, And therefore, you need to develop a large enough data bank in order to cater for this, So imagine today in a warehouse, most of the time, our AMRs or AGVs are running on a fixed path, There's no alternate path, But imagine today, if we are able to piece all this together and to develop this big enough database, so one day, you will be sitting in your office and the robot will tell you, well, this path is blocked, and they will even propose an alternate path for you, And you just have to click accept or decline, And so that is the vision, of how we want to be doing the omniverse, for warehousing, All right. And again, with all this as well, with virtual testing, it enables us to have faster deployment in the market, So in the past, we have to spend a lot of effort, right? But once you develop this omniverse that is complete enough, you basically can cut down a lot of simulation, a lot of design time even, in the market. So these are the trends that we see in the market, the top 3 trends. Now, to conclude, right? So what does this mean to all of us? Again, we have various challenges, right? In Malaysia especially, we have cost-sensitive environment. Okay. Okay. So we have cost-sensitive environment, We have also this thing called a mixed pallet or closed pallet, Unlike in, let's say, Europe, they have much more open pallet, So we have high variability because many of the customers that we go to and we talk to, they have all kinds of different requirements, right? And they want fast deployment, but yet, they want low cost, right? And again, we have rapidly changing demand as well, because a lot of customers also told us that, hey, their customers also change, over time, And therefore, we need to cater for this. And there are also customers who say that, they have currently a site and they want to automate the site, right? And they don't want to reinvest too much, They want to convert their existing site, which is what we call a brownfield deployment. Because when you are designing for a greenfield, a brand new warehouse, of course, you can do anything you like, But when you are in a brownfield, it is a bit challenging, I must say. And therefore, flexible automation could address this challenge, Sorry. So how can our solutions help, And again, we look at affordable, flexible automation with mixed pallet solutions. Yeah. So again, as I said just now, whether it is open pallet or closed pallet, yeah, we have different solutions to address the needs. And we want to make it affordable. And to make it affordable, we have to somewhat make it more standardized, easier to deploy in the market. Yeah. And of course, we have reliable RAS solution with proven track record from our traditional forklift business. Yeah. So it's a rental-based solution. And of course, now we have with NVIDIA, our future-ready digital twin, AI-enabled orchestration. Yeah. And maybe I spend a minute on this orchestration, right? This is a word that probably you'll hear more and more in the future. Yeah. Why we talk about orchestration? Anyone attended an orchestra? Yeah, definitely, right? Yeah, so there are many instruments in play in an orchestra. So imagine today, if we are able to offer you, yeah, if you want to pick brand A for AGV, brand B for PTR, brand C for CTU, who is going to bring this together for you? Because in the traditional way, many suppliers are only saying, I only do AGV. I only do CTU, You can only use my software. I'm the only one who can implement for you, So this is not flexible, yeah? But things are changing, And we need to be able to bring all this together and be able to let the customer know that we are the consultant. We will have our recommendations based on our experience. But if you like and you insist to use brand B for this, okay, I can also do it for you, yeah? So that is the future, of automation, yeah, in terms of flexibility, in terms of addressing the needs, of developing markets like Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, yeah. Because not all, let's say, countries or organizations can afford, to invest a one-time, large investments, yeah. So, and again, with all this flexible automation, we can expand it phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, to cater for the different needs of the business. Okay? All right. And I think most importantly, in order for us to do all this, right, not only we need to work with our ecosystem partners, yeah, that we gather from around the world, yeah. And as you know, of course, today, the speed of innovation. Who is leading the speed of innovation? Which country? China. Yeah, very good. Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So I think with KION, we are able to bring together the German engineering behind, the speed of China, because we have very strong presence in China. Yeah. And with the ecosystem partners that we have developed, because we don't need to develop everything on our own. They are specialists in doing everything, So how do we quickly piece them together? Yeah? And then finally, most important part is execution on the ground, right? Because you cannot be flying people around the world, to deploy a project in Malaysia, So we need to have good local partners as well, yeah? And of course, today I'm very happy to announce that XTS, right in front of the entrance, has been appointed our partner, for KION, yeah? To really deploy and implement, and to follow through in the project, which is very key, right? Because you can spend a lot of money, and if you are paying for the cost of people flying around, right? Nobody wants to pay for this, People want flexibility, people want fast deployment on the ground, yeah? And so that is the model that we are heading with our flexible automation, okay? So again, thank you very much for all your time to listen in, yeah? And to visit our booth, yeah, with XTS, right in front of the entrance. If you miss it when you enter, please drop by before you leave, yeah? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. T. Seng Chuan. Let's give another warm round of applause for a forward-looking and insightful presentation. Now I'd like to open the floor for Q&A. If you have a question, you can raise up your hand. I will come to you with the microphone. Are there any questions on the floor? Let me look through. Any questions going once? How about Mr. T? Do you have any questions for the crowd to test them or anything?
No testing this
All
time.
right. Okay, if there's no question, thank you so much once again, Mr. Tien Kwan, for your engaging
Thank
and
you.
visionary session. Your insights into the future of intralogistics automation and KION's leadership in the space have truly set the tone of what's ahead. So ladies and gentlemen, later on, we're going to have one more session, which is the seminar titled From Pen and Paper to Precision Tracking, the Evolution of Traceability in Inventory and Logistics, that will be presented by Mr. Heng Ching Wai, Assistant Sales Manager at Six Sensor Malaysia, Sdn Bhd. So he will explore how traceability has evolved from manual methods to smart sensor-driven, and that means inventory control and logistic efficiency. We'll begin shortly, right after the break. Thank you, and please stay with us, and I'll be back with you for a reminder at 11:25.